All right. Hello. We at Areii, we are pushing out the team and task management, and this is the updated tutorial and walkthrough for the newest update, the team and task management update. So, if you have been on the platform for a while or you're new to the platform, this can be a great way to quickly get introduced to what the platform is able to do, how to navigate around it, and all the best practices. So with that, let's dive right into the tutorial. So to start off, you'll see that we have, log in, sign up, whatever you got to do. So let me log in real quick here. And so when you log in, you're going to get taken straight to your dashboard. This is going to be across for all your properties, for all your different teams. This is just a great way to take a look at what's the action going on within my Areii account. So when we are on here, you'll see if you've been around for a while that the dashboard is completely redone. Some of it might look the same, but a lot of new stuff on here. So first over here, we have the tasks panel. This is going to show your most upcoming tasks that you need to be paying attention to across all your different properties. So you can see all these different ones, and then clicking on them and doing a couple different things will give you a couple different options here, but we'll take a look at that in a second. Let's move on to the receipts tile down here. So underneath this receipts tile, you'll see that we can just see what expenses we've added to the platform by uploading different receipts, and you can sort through them and see all that stuff. It is by default going to sort by uncategorized receipts. And then over here in the upper middle column, we have the loan requests. So this is a newer feature where we have the ability to track the loans that our users are asking our lenders for. So we work with a network of lenders, and those lenders can provide loans for our users, and our users can obviously get matched up with them. And that's one of the main benefits is we help you get capital quickly, efficiently, and cheaply. And so we make that transaction as smooth and painless as possible. And so you can quickly see where some of your loans are for which property and for which loan provider. Underneath that, we have revenue and expenses. This goes along with the receipts. You'll be able to see, how much passive income have I earned this month? How much earned income have I earned this year? And so if you hover over, you'll see that these are based off your goals that you set up. And then expenses, how much in expenses have I done this month? These are the expenses, and the passive income are on a monthly number, and the earned income is on a annual number. All right. And then let's see here. We have on the bottom here, we have the daily analysis goals. So this is just a little way to gamify the system a little bit. This will keep track of how many deals you've analyzed, and you can set a goal to analyze a certain amount each day. So if you're working with a team or anything like that, you can do all that and keep track of who's analyzed what. And then you have your credits here. These are the same credits that are up here at the top if you're on desktop. You'll see your credits, and this is how many property report credits you have left. And then you can view your goals, set up, and adjust your goals, which will also adjust the revenue and expense goals as well. And then on the right side here, we have our properties. So all the properties that we've added to our account, we can just quickly scroll through them, as well as click the view all button and be taken to the properties page, so you can see all the different properties in your account. All right, now let's look at navigation within the dashboard. So we'll take a look at the header first. So we have dashboard, brings you right back here. In blue, you have the amount of credits that you still have in your account if you're on a paid account. You can go to the connections where you can connect with other users, find team members, stuff like that. And we'll go through the connections in a little bit. And then next to it, you have the messages. tab to where you can go and talk to other users. You can also see your team communications and stuff like that. Tasks, this is one of the new pages that has come with the team and task management update, and we will take a look at that in just a moment. And then notifications is also a new thing as well. So now when you need, when somebody messages you or you're assigned a task or anything like that, it will pop up in your notifications and you can view those and click on this really easily. And then your profile picture, when you click on it, will pull up a sub menu with additional things and connect and the ability to go to your profile. So clicking on your name here on your profile will take you to your profile page. The gear icon in the top right of this menu will take you to your account settings. And then there's a couple other buttons on here. So obviously tasks is going to take you to the task, connections will take you to connections, messages to messages, and so on. Properties will take you to your properties page, so you can see all your different properties by clicking on this button. Marketplace will take you to the deal marketplace. So if you are looking for properties or you want to, put a deal that you're working on there, maybe you're a wholesaler, you can click on that and go to the marketplace. And then feedback, to give us feedback on the product platform, maybe there's a bug, something like that. You do that, and then obviously log out to log yourself out. The other button to note in the navigation is the floating action button down here in the bottom right. This allows you to do a couple things quickly from most of the pages. You can add a property, you can add an expense, so a receipt. You can add some sort of documentation if you need to. You can view all of our tutorials as well as report a bug. And then within here, let's take a look at the task board here. So when we're over here, we can do a couple things within the tasks here. So one, obviously clicking in the circle will complete a task and it will be added to our completed task list for that property. And then we can also look over here at the profile picture here, or if there is no profile, it means that a task is unassigned. So if it's unassigned and we're the task owner, we can assign this property to someone by clicking on that icon, and then we can do things like changing the date, or we can assign to a team member if there's a team member on that property. Underneath the receipts, clicking on a receipt will take you to the receipt organizer. Not a whole lot has changed on that. We'll take a look at that page in just a moment. On the loan requests here, so with the loan request, this is something else to note. So clicking on doesn't do a whole lot, but you have two little buttons here. One of them is, they're both gray right now, but the gray X will cancel your request for that loan. So you can cancel it at any time if you do not wish to continue looking for a loan through that lender. Maybe you secured financing somewhere else or the deal fell through, whatever, you can cancel that loan request right there. The other thing that you can do is, depending on where it's at, you can move the process forward. When it's something waiting on you, you can move the process forward. So when I initially submit a loan request, it will show up in my list as pending lender interest, essentially. So I'm waiting for the lender to tell me whether or not they're going to be able to help me on this property. And once they do let me know that, or they cancel it, it'll either let me know that they canceled or that they've submitted their interest, and then this button will turn green. Once it is green and I select it, it will release certain loan documents to that lender so we can hurry up and speed up the process. So essentially you can get from, hey, I found a property, to we need to send over all the documents to this lender, basically with just a couple snaps of hits of button, and it'll just send all that stuff right over to them. All right, revenue and expenses. Not a whole lot to see here. This is just, obviously your income and your expenses. And then the goal analysis, selecting this will take you to go and change some stuff. So I think, and then one last thing. So selecting on one of these properties in the property panel will take you to that property's page to give you more information on just that specific property. So I think that is it for this here. We're going to take a look next quickly at the connections page here. All right, and so this is the test mode. So this is not live data. So this will look a little bit different when you all go to the actual site after this is all published. But yeah, so we have, so on the connections page here, we have, we can basically find connections just like we've been able to by clicking on the connections. It's also what loads up initially. We can see any requests that we might have coming to us. And we can also see some popular accounts to connect with if we want to choose to connect with them. And then we can also search, or connections will show us our active connections. Search will allow us to go and find some people and we connect with them right here. This update, we did add a connect button right to the card, so you don't have to click into their profile to connect with them if you don't want to. All right, let's move on to messages. So the messages tab will look a little bit differently now. You'll notice that we have team member conversations in here. So from this page here, you can see all the conversations with individual users, as well as your conversations with the team members that you have. So you can see, this is for my property, 4th Street Flip, and we can start having some communication via the team, and everybody will be able to pitch in on that conversation. And then from there, that's basically it for the messages. Next, we'll look at what the notifications look like. So when I do have notifications come in, if they are unread, they will be a bluish color. And if I view them, they'll be this gray here. Clicking on them will mark them as seen, and I'll get rid of that blue. I can see, I've been assigned a task, and you can see a little bit about what's going on in each of these notifications. Clicking view will take you to view that or that property or whatever it is. If you're sent a message, it'll take you to that message. If it's a team message, I believe it will take you to the property page that you see. I'll show you that here in a second as well. And then before we get into the tasks, that's the big one. Let's take a look. Properties, the properties page is basically the same, I do believe. I don't think a whole lot has changed on this page. Kind of just updated the look of it just a little bit. So you can see your properties versus any properties that you are just a team member on. So my properties are the properties that I created, and then team properties are the ones that I've been added to as a team member. So you'll be able to switch between those and see those. And you can close and open the side panel here for more of a view if you want. And then marketplace still looks the same. Not a whole lot has changed here. Take a look real fast. Basically, you can see, what's on the market, and then you can see all of your listings here. All this still looks basically the same. We can manage them. We can add new ones, see how many people have viewed it, see how many inquiries we've been sent, edit or delete listing, or update the status of the listing. And then, all right, I think now to get into the big meat and potatoes of the team and task management update. Before we dive into some of the new pages around the tasks and the new property page and all that stuff, I think it'd be easiest to show you what's going on within the account settings. So you click in the menu and you click the gear to go to the account settings. There's a couple other ways to get to this page here as well, but basically what we're looking at is all these workflows here. So the workflow settings, you can see all the different workflows that you have created, and then you can see all of the different steps within each workflow. So every workflow is comprised of a bunch of steps, and then every step has a series of tasks that will be auto-created for that property based off of the step that it is on. It also has a stage that it is correlated to, and so you have the ability to create all these workflows and all these steps and edit them and create them however whatever makes sense for you and your team. Every account comes preloaded with a couple basic ones, one for a flip, one for rentals, and one for wholesaling. That way you can kind of see what you need to do when, all that stuff. So clicking on the arrows will expand that. Another new addition is the ability to rearrange the order of these steps from in here. So you can change, like maybe I messed up and I want to change the order. You can do that from in here as well, and rearrange them, and it'll do that automatically. Yeah, so that's the thing that I want to show you for the workflows. Nothing else has really changed inside of the account settings. So we can skip all of this. And let's move into the task page. So this also is kind of like a dashboard, specifically to view all the different tasks and where all your projects are going to be at, and what you have to do for all your projects. So when you load in, you'll see something that looks sort of like a Trello board. You'll see a board of all your different steps for each flow that you're on. The panel to the left here will allow you to select the different panel, and you'll be able to see all of the different workflows that you are, or if you are a team member on someone else's property and they use a different workflow than you, you'll be able to see that workflow as well, so you can see where that property is. And if you work for one person, you're helping them with a bunch of different properties, then you'll be able to see all the different properties for all their different workflows. It'll be nice and organized. You can create new workflows right from here. And then the other thing is you'll be able to see all the properties that are underneath that workflow right here from the left-hand menu. When you click on a property, either from here or from the card views out here, a panel on the right side of the screen will open up, and you'll be able to see some information from that, namely information on the team, what step it's at, where it's at in the pipeline, or in the workflow pipeline. And then you also be able to see all the to-do tasks in it, as well as all of the completed tasks throughout its history. So anything that you've ever done to the property, you'll be able to see all those tasks and when they were completed and all that good stuff. You'll also be able to add just one-off tasks. So if there's just something you need to do, or you don't want to forget about, you can just add task. Clicking on it, obviously, you'll be able to edit it, assign the task to whoever you need to, and all of that good stuff. You also can go straight to the property page from right within the view of this right panel. So we'll do that now. And the other major update for this team and task management update is the properties page itself. So we've done a ton of work on the properties page to make it just a little bit easier to understand what's going on, what you need to do, where to look, all that different stuff. So a couple things. We can see the loan requests tile again when we first click into it, and so you'll be able to obviously tell where it's at in the loan process. And then the other one is the task tile as well. You'll be able to see your most upcoming tasks right here as well, and then you can click to go right back into the task board by clicking view and task board. So when you first load into a properties page, you're automatically brought to this overview page, which is underneath the team and tasks section of the page. So we did a lot of work on the navigation around how to interact with your properties on Areii. We want to make it work a little bit easier to understand. So this overview page allows you to just kind of see what you can do. So you have things like updating the step of the property. So you're out of tasks, you're done with it. Okay, what do we need to do? We're under contract, so we're going to go straight into pre-demo. So we'll update the step. It's going to update the where we're at in the process, and then generate out any tasks that we need to do. I can click on something here and I can assign it to whoever. I'm going to assign it to Derek. He's on my team. And actually, I want to change that. I want to update this to, this needs to be done this week. So update the task right here and move on. Some other cool stuff that you can do right here from the overview is you have all the property actions. Before, all these actions were hidden, underneath a list that was kind of over here on the side of the panel here. So we just kind of made these a little bit more prominent so you can see what you can do a little bit easier. So you can sit here and edit the analysis if there's an active one. If there's not, it'll obviously start a new one. Add an expense right to this property, add income, add any photos, documents, or you can list on the marketplace. Something along this note is when you're in this button here, when you click on the action menu down on the right side, adding an expense or a document from here will also, while you're on a properties page, will automatically assign the expense or the document right to that property. And then another important thing to note, both in the left side panel and on the project up here in the top right hand corner, you'll be able to see the project team. You'll see all the members, all the people who are on that team, and you can also add people to your team. So before we dive into the rest of the changes to the properties, it's probably a good time to show that. So clicking on this, you'll be able to manage all of your team members. And there's a couple different ways to do this. So one, this is where you can add or remove people. And so this upper section is for adding people to your team. You can add a quick little note because it's going to email them in addition to give them a notification in their account. That way, if you want to add someone who is not a member of Areii, you can do that simply by typing in their email, and whoever it is, it'll send them out an email, so that way or they know that you need their help on this property. Maybe this is your contractor, your realtor, or whatever, and you want them to see the stuff, they can do that. If you don't want to invite them by email, and maybe you've met someone on the platform that you'd like to have you help, you do have to be a connection with them on the platform, but you can invite any of your existing connections within Areii to be a team member on this property. So clicking this button here will show you all your connections, and you can scroll through there and figure out which ones you want to add. And then down here, you'll be able to see your existing team members and what their status is. So I can see that Derek has accepted this one. And if I need to, I can remove him from the team. Yep. So that is how adding team members works. All right. So the other thing to note in the team and tasks section of your property page is that there is a team chat. So right from the properties page, I can view all of our communications through the team and type some up and let them know where we're at or what we need to be doing next. And so you don't have to worry about always going back into the messages tab just to be able to communicate with your team. You can do it right from the properties page. All right, some of the other changes, everything else, all the changes mostly just has to deal with how to navigate through the different views. So we now have like navigation sections, and each section has a couple different views that you can go to it. So if you're on desktop, you can see that clicking on it will also highlight one of these tabs up here, so I can either navigate through here or from the left side. Most of the changes to the platform that aren't specifically to do with the team members and the task management stuff, it was mostly just like make things prettier and easier to understand or navigate. So like on the valuation comps and the rental comps, we just move the map to the bottom. That way you can just see the comps. And if you wanted to see where they're at, you can do that right underneath them all. Underneath bookkeeping, you can see all your expense reports still. You can see your income reports, see how much total income you've made versus your gross profit. This month's income versus gross profit, all that good stuff. And then documents, we made this a little bit easier to understand as well. You can see all the different documents that you have, as well as any receipts that you have added to the property. When you're on mobile, if you choose to use this on your mobile device, there'll be a separate tutorial that you should watch, because the navigation on mobile does look quite a bit different than this. So it's important that you watch the mobile navigation if you are using mobile a lot. And with that, I think that is just about it. If you have any questions, or a little confused, or you have any ideas on how to improve some of the navigation, make things a little bit easier to digest, we are actually beginning to look for designers. So if you're interested in helping us with the design of this platform and making the platform better, we are starting to look for that role on our team. And yeah, or obviously you can drop us a line right here in the report bug, or this feedback button here. It'll just pop up a little thing and let us know who you are and what your message is, and how we can improve the platform. Yeah, I think that is just about it. Let's see here. Double check we're not missing anything else. No, I think that's about it. So yeah, just I hope you all enjoy the new update, and let me know if there's anything that I can do, or if you need help finding anything. If you are an old user and something's moved and you're not sure how to get to a certain page or a certain thing that you like to use that's been moved, just let me know and I will show you where it's at and help you figure out where to go. Awesome.